he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580, good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. I hope it's your first thing. My very first thing. Well, I hope it's your second thing. My very first thing every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Let's go. Happy Talking Point Tuesday. What do we do on a Talking Point Tuesday? We debunk, undermine those things that are not serving us, that come out of our own mouths, and then we replace them with our own talking points, things that are helpful, uplifting, make sense, counteract the BS, and boy, is there a lot of it right now. On a Tuesday, the way we do things, hour one, we look local. Hour two, we go international and national and all of that beyond. And hour three, we do a deep dive with a person of interest or a hot topic. Today, we will be joined for our Talking Point Tuesday hour by my favorite Republican, John Witt Jr. He actually is the only Republican with the show on this station. And we will be chopping it up about, you know how we do it, about national issues. In hour three, we'll be looking at the state of transgender equality, transgender people in America, with Mike White, who is the author of one of the authors of a pretty comprehensive report on exactly that. And right now, it's me, you, and the microphone, telephone, social media. And let's do this on social media. You can join the conversation in the comments on YouTube at KBLA 1580, youtube.com. That's where we stream every day that I'm in the USA. We're going to be doing some streaming when we're in Africa too, but it won't be on YouTube, probably be on Instagram or TikTok. So make sure you follow me and KBLA on those things, and Miles too, by the way. We're at KBLA 1580. We keep it simple, and we are, I'm at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio everywhere, easy to find. Right now, though, on YouTube, and good morning to Poker, Molly Bell, Gentle Killer, and Miles Lowe, all in the chat, in the convo this morning. Yesterday was Tupac's birthday. Rest in peace to Tupac. That means it's Gemini season, which is my favorite season because I am a Gemini, and it's talking and communication season. It's ruled by Mercury season, which means we should all be doing a better job of communicating once one hopes. Today is Kendrick Lamar's birthday, so HBD to K. Dot. And we miss Cube only because it fell on the weekend. So happy birthday to Ice Cube too. And all the Gemini birthdays are happening right now. And if you're not Kendrick Lamar or Ice Cube or Tupac or Dominique DiPrima or Prince, happy birthday to you. Anyway, if you're a Gemini. Man, we're just a couple days away from our official 4th anniversary. That is happening on Juneteenth. But the party starts tomorrow. Tavis Smiley's got his climate justice and well-being broadcast. It's going to be on C-SPAN. So even if you're listening from Ghana, you can tune in on C-SPAN. But you can also go. There's a few seats left. I believe there are a few left. You will need to register at KBLA1580.com. Probably want to do it right this second if you can. Squeeze it in. And, of course, my event is Saturday. The State of Black Women in L.A. should be excellent. We have some great panelists, including Council Member Heather Hutt, Judge Songhai Armstead, and many more. It's going to be a lot of fun, but also something you can really sink your teeth into, literally and figuratively. We're going to be having lunch as soon as we have our panel discussions. Afterwards, we'll have lunch, and then we're going to work on some things to make things better in LA. Cynthia Mitchell-Hurd will be joining me. She's the president of the LA Urban League. The UTLA, Cecily Mayart Cruz, Black Alliance for Just Immigration, Nana Gyamfi, Erica Smith, a Bloomberg Opinion. We will have Dr. Medell Briggs Melanson of UCLA Health, our own Dr. Melina Abdullah, and more. So looking forward to that conversation. Jeanette Robinson Flint of Black Women for Wellness, as we dig in and look at what's really going on in LA. That is Saturday morning. Of course, the Empowerment Congress is bringing you a great event on Saturday. We are teaming up with them for that. And our Juneteenth party, we're going to ask you to bring either just a gift card, any size, but either a restaurant or a grocery store. And so that is happening on Thursday, but you will need to register again. KBLA1580.com. We're still getting those gift cards for the folks in Altadena, Pasadena, who are displaced, many still struggling. We have not forgotten you, and we thank you for whatever you can do to help us be of service in that area. 800-920-1580. That's the number to call. If you got a thing to say now or all throughout the show, you're welcome in. Also, you can hit me up on the socials. I love that as well. So the impact of these ICE raids and ICE enforcement are still being felt here in Southern California. Protests continue. The curfew was on again last night, although the hours were truncated a little bit, started at 10 p.m. instead of 8 p.m., lifted at 6 a.m. But I believe that the impact of these ICE raids is going to be felt for quite some time, longer than we really think, because, well, first of all, the president keeps threatening more and more and more, even while out of one side of his mouth, out of the other side of his mouth, he says that he's going to stop enforcement in restaurants, farms, and hotels. Probably because he has friends that own restaurants, farms, and hotels who are telling him this is killing our business. But if I'm a person that's undocumented, or a person who's in the process, or even a green card holder who is afraid that my green card will be taken by ICE, I'm not going to show up to work just because Trump says now he's not going to enforce that. How do I know? How do I know that the ICE is going to follow his orders? How do I know that he's not going to change his mind an hour later like he does with his tariffs and everything else? And so as a result, I think that at least here in Southern California, I would imagine other places as well, we are going to have to deal with the impact. More expensive food, terrorized neighbors, more difficulty for people in certain fields, restaurant owners, farmers, and folks who run hotels. That's just what it is. They are reporting, I haven't gone down there yet to look for myself, I will, that the fashion district downtown is almost empty. And all of those are jobs. Not just the people selling the things, but the people supplying the people who sell the things. Those restaurants that serve the workers downtown in the garment district. Those people that sell the fabrics and the clothing and the little tchotchkes that you can get down there. They're all, that whole supply chain interrupted now because of these raids. And I believe that this is not going away overnight, just like many of the other impacts are not going away overnight, because people are afraid. And to be honest with you, it is scary. Some folks are saying they're afraid to leave their house. Got these folks walking around with gas masks and militarized vehicles and face masks and snatching people. It doesn't make me want to go out of the house. And I got the blue passport and the nappy hair. I have had a few, I'll call them discussions with people who feel like Latinos don't stand with us, we shouldn't stand with them. And there's a couple things about that. First of all, not all migrants are Latino. They come from everywhere. Second of all, that's just not the truth. We've had solidarity with Latino people. They've stood with us. We've stood with them. Not all of them. Of course, there's some racists. The anti-blackness is real. I know about the conflicts on job sites and the gang divisions, particularly Southern versus Northern California. But going way back, I mean, it's ironic because my own dad, Amiri Baraka, a.k.a. Leroy Jones, helped to foster coalition between the Brown Berets and Black Panthers on the East Coast, leading to a number of wins, very specific wins. Tom Broadley would not have been mayor in this city. I list these things all the time because it seems like people forget, or maybe they didn't know the history, maybe they don't know. The A through G victories of getting those advanced classes into our South LA schools so that our children can have the same 4.2 or 4.3 GPAs that they need to compete at a UCLA or a UC Berkeley. That was a joint effort between Latino people and Black people. Karen Bass, not elected mayor without Latino voters and obviously Black voters. Antonio Villaraigosa, not elected mayor without Black voters and Latino voters. This is not a one-off. It doesn't mean we agree on everything, but we have consistently had a coalition here in LA and across the country. And so to pretend like that's not true, it's ahistorical, doesn't make sense. And then there's the third point, which Dr. Melina Abdullah brought up on this show yesterday, which to me is the most important thing of all, which is that it is the right thing to do. It is the morally correct thing to do. To stand with other human beings while they're being terrorized by militaristic police is the right thing to do. And then there's the bonus point, which is that it's never worked out well for Black people, Black Americans, FBA, freedmen, ADOS, DDoS. It's never worked out good for black people when there's tons of cops, any kind of cop, ICE cop, blue cop, sheriff cop, DEA cop. It's never worked out well for us when they flood our neighborhoods. It's never worked out well for us. Ever. I didn't write it. F the police. I didn't write it. It's never worked out well for us. And that's just a fact. And so to pretend otherwise is dangerous, I'm going to say. Delusional. 800-920-1580. Weigh in if you want to. Don't weigh in if you don't. But again, I'm back to the main thing, keeping the main thing. We Black Americans, African Americans, freedmen, melanated people are the moral compass of the doggone planet. And I believe we are anointed by the Most High to be that. And I believe it is not the moment to change that, to back down from that, to give it an asterisk. It's about what's right. And we know what's right. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say.
Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
Love you.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
And I do support what a couple of California lawmakers are doing. State Senator Scott Wiener and Public Safety Committee Chair Jesse Araguin out of Oakland have a bill they're trying to put through called the No Secret Police Act. This bill would make it illegal for cops in California to cover their faces. Yeah, this is not El Salvador where death squads can just roll up and grab you. It would stop officers doing business in California from concealing their identities by covering their faces. It would require clear ID through uniforms, name tags, or badge numbers. It would apply to officers who come here from outside jurisdictions, except for SWAT teams and cops fighting wildfires. Okay, so there's some exceptions to it, but I think it's a great idea. Some law enforcement, obviously, standing against it. And I'm not surprised because this wearing mask things really seem to have caught on among cops. And I'm seeing it nationwide. And to me, it's just a form of intimidation and terror that I don't think is something that we should have in this country. I just don't. Let's go to Fred calling us from the Crenshaw district. Good morning, Fred. Hi, Fred.
Thanks for taking my call. I want to comment on the grocery strike situation. I live over here at the Glory Halls apartment, and I have Ralph's on my side of the street. It would seem to me I left a message for the union president, and she never called me back. And I suggested what she should do is send a letter to W. Rodney McCullen. He's the CEO. He owns Ralph's, and he owns Kroger. And now I was watching Channel 7 News a few minutes ago where they're getting the picket signs ready to strike. Right across the street from where I live, I do have a Superior, and everybody needs more money. There's a labor dispute, but I've been in the county for 25 years, so it seems to me that if she sends a letter to Ms. McCollum requesting...
Fred, I'm pretty sure that they've already contacted the owner of Ralph's. I mean, you're in a union if you work for the county. So, I mean, that they don't just say, please, pretty please, can we have a raise? I mean, they negotiate and they usually leave no stone unturned. A strike is a last resort.
Okay, but I was going to say, in addition to that, you remember the MTA strike we had back in the 70s? Reverend Jesse Jackson, he had to talk privately to the... Oh, you don't? Oh, you trying to say I'm older than you? You're not right, Dominique. I still love you. Ain't right. But anyway, no, so he had to come and talk to the driver. I'll give you something to laugh about. So he had to come and talk to the drivers, the clerks, and mechanics. Do you know that they were able to get a contract together? Even though I retired from the county, we don't have a contract of SEIU 721. And now it seems, I got a flyer the other day, from a union where Holly Mitchell, she's one of the ladies that dragging her feet, and I have a feeling what the union may try to do is shut the county down July 1st. The reason why they might pick that date is because that's the beginning of the fiscal year for the county, the state.
Okay, but here's the thing, Fred. Right now, there's no date set, so it may or may not happen. They're saying that the grocery stores are doing illegal things, intimidating workers, spying on workers, and retaliating against those that are organizing for the union. That's not anything unusual, but it is illegal. They haven't set a date yet, and we'll see. Some people claim that the Ralphs are already cutting back on workers and trying to force people into self-checkout. They want more workers. They want higher wages, the usual things, stronger workplace protections. But there's still a chance they'll work this out because grocery prices are already high. Folks are already trying to tighten our belts. And so it's not the best time for a strike. But it's also true that usually when the grocery workers go on strike, you don't have to go back to the 70s. There's been a couple of them in the past 10 years. Most of the time, we don't cross the picket line. I don't. Most LA shoppers will not cross the picket line. Fred, you still there?
Just today.
Yeah.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the days, I was talking to one of the ladies yesterday, and she had agreed with me that, see, all these big CEOs, they make all this big money, but they forget who got them there. If not for the people down at the bottom, will they have all these high prestigious jobs today? I don't think so. And then another thing I want to talk about now, Donald Trump had told us what he was going to do if he gets in for president of the United States. Why didn't a lot of people get behind our sister, Kamala Harris? We wouldn't be having all this terrorist rates and stuff. So anyway, I know you got a lot of calls. Keep doing what you're doing, and I thought I'd put my 2 cents in, as they say, and you have a blessed day, Dominique.
All right, thanks for sharing your 2 cents, and you have a blessed day as well. Yeah, Tanya's in the chat saying she agrees public servants, police should be transparently visible while they're serving and protecting. No anonymity while in public doing the public's work. Well said, right? We're paying your salary. Don't we have a right to know who the heck you are and why you're here? It's creepy. It's just plain creepy. Molly Bell, Dominique, I think of words like slave catchers. So far, Latinos, Mexicans, Cesar Chavez, and so many more. We are all God's children. We all pray with our Father. We are one, pray, and petition. E.C. Courtney, there are many who don't remember the Brown Berets. Well, I don't, but you can read about it, and but again, we don't have to even go back that far. We really don't. It's time for news, traffic, and sports. It's time for you to call me. It's time for us to talk about it. There's so much going on. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. President Trump is back in the U.S. after leaving the G7 summit early, leading some to speculate that he's planning on talking with Israel about the bombing of Iran and providing more support. Yesterday, he called for everyone to evacuate the capital of Iran, Tehran. Iran captured the moment an Israeli bomb hit the state TV studio during a live broadcast. This audio may be disturbing to some. That anchor jumped from her seat but returned after the smoke cleared to finish her broadcast. Black music producer Timbaland is being accused of stealing music and not giving credit to the original artist. Timbaland says his intention was to show the power of AI. He's been putting the music into an AI system to train it. New York is cracking down on noise, abandoned vehicles, and reckless scooter driving. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's Major League Baseball teams got a win last night. The Dodgers beat San Diego 6-3. Shohei Ohtani had his first pitching performance in almost 2 years. Ohtani pitched the first inning. He gave up 1 run and 2 hits. At the plate, Ohtani had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. The Dodgers and Padres meet up again tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Angels beat the Yankees 1-0 in 11 innings in New York. Angels manager Ron Washington used 6 pitchers to keep the Yankees scoreless. The Angels and Yankees are back at Yankee Stadium tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 1 win away from their first NBA championship in franchise history. The Thunder beat Indiana 120-109 to take a 3-2 lead in the best-of-7 NBA Finals. OKC got a career-high 40 points from Jalen Williams. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 31 points and 10 assists. Game 6 is Thursday night in Indianapolis. no debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Are you ready to play? Then jump into the LA 84 Foundation's Free Playday Block Party, a community celebration for all ages, including live music, dancing, LA's pro sports teams, great local food trucks, plus special giveaways for you to take home. Enjoy an exciting, fun-filled day for the entire family. Join us Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 2141 West Adams Boulevard. To register, go to la84.org. We'll see you Saturday, June 28th at LA 84 Foundation's Free Playday Block Party.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you, and I do appreciate you. I have to say rest in peace to Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Didn't know a lot about him, but one of our friends here from Africatown, Leimert Park, Africatown Coalition said, hey, how come you didn't give any love to Brian Wilson, a Southern California fixture who reportedly is from Hawthorne. So he's the singer. He was the lead singer for the Beach Boys. And they had songs like Surfin' USA and hits like that. So he made his transition not long ago. So rest in peace to him. 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to say something. And I've been talking a lot about these raids because it's changing the vibe and the budget of Southern California. The estimates that I'm seeing so far were at $20 million in involuntary costs to the city of Los Angeles at a time when we have a $1 billion budget deficit. We're talking about police overtime, cleanups after some of these raids and protests, just completely unforeseen and not something we have any say in. The feds descend on the city and make this into a thing, and then people are pushing back and protesting against it. And now the costs are running up with each day that passes. Meanwhile, I'm reading that ICE is already over budget by millions and may run out of money altogether that would be wild. Where's Doge when you need him? I just cut. And what happens then? We already know that they're going to find a way to let them spend. Meanwhile, a protester was shot in the eye on Saturday in downtown LA. And he may never get his vision back in his right eye. The LAPD claims it was because people were throwing bricks and bottles. Everybody that was protesting says that it was because the police were being overly aggressive, shooting so-called non-lethal weaponry, not just from down on the ground level, but from various other points where they can't really discern what's going on. And the thing about the so-called less lethal or non-lethal weaponry is you can actually die from that. A rubber bullet is a bullet. It's not the same as a regular bullet, but you don't want to take one at close range. You don't want to take one to the eye. It can do serious damage and or even kill you. We remember this from 2020. And at least one lawsuit from a person who was gravely injured by one of those rubber bullets. That particular person had their cheek fractured, their face broken, basically, and their eye injured, and possibly will not get that back. His name is Marshall Woodruff. And you heard Dr. Melina Abdullah on yesterday talking about how that pepper spray or the tear gas has a lingering effect. It's not just that second. Anyway, if you want to help out Mr. Woodruff, they've set up a GoFundMe. That's sad to me that he needs a GoFundMe for his eyeball simply for exercising his constitutional right to protest. There's a video going around, the LA Times reporting on it. They said they were unable to verify it or identify what agency it is, but I've seen this video. It's a video from the city of Compton, which appears to show a military-style vehicle rolling there, and which, according to the LA Times witnesses, said was used to conduct an ICE raid. The LA Times, like I said, has not been able to get to the bottom of it. They made an inquiry to the National Guard and others. This is near the Compton Woodley Airport, and the video is quite striking. Like I said, it's not verified, but unless somebody did AI, this is clearly a slap in the face to the governor and the mayor, who have asked. Of course, Compton has its own mayor, but the governor of the state of California and our mayor of LA, I'm quite sure the mayor of Compton is not wanting military vehicles to roll through the city. This was an armored vehicle for so-called police raids. Again, this is a way of intimidating people. It is a kind of terrorizing, not just of the people, by the way, who are being sought, but of everybody. Everyone who lives and works. And I think it's ironic that people are more concerned about the price of the groceries, the price of going to a hotel, the difficulty in getting workers, than they are in the human trauma. These kids, who are worried their parents are getting snatched, or whose parents are getting snatched. The state of California will be back in court today trying to get the judges to uphold a ruling that was already made by another lower court, saying that it was illegal for President Trump to federalize the National Guard and take it out of the hands of Governor Gavin Newsom, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals had put that ruling on hold until today. And so they will go today to try to get control of the National Guard back over to the governor of the state of California. And that's going to be another big day in court. Gavin Newsom, our governor, says the National Guard will be back under my authority by noon tomorrow and redeployed to what they were doing before Donald Trump commandeered them. Of course, that's in the hands of a court. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for sure, because I think what it means for the future, if the president can just say, well, I don't like what they're doing, even though it's legal, I'm going to just send in the National Guard. Quite chilling. The 101 freeway should be westbound, should be opened back up now. There was a fatality overnight, 2:30 in the morning at Tahunga, Studio City, that had all lanes shut down. 2 people were killed there. So while it's opened up, it's going to be a mess for a while. The LAUSD is going to sell $500 million worth of bonds to pay for what, you say? Sexual misconduct from the past. This is the same scenario that the county of LA faced, which is where statute of limitations are lifted. And so you see claims coming back for sexual abuse going back decades. There's 370 sexual abuse claims right now against LAUSD. And so this is the school board's way of trying to pay for it over a 15-year loan by selling these bonds. It's not my favorite option, but what do? What does the county do? Hopefully we clean up this behavior, but when you take away the statute of limitations and then they're able to go back to the 1970s and file claims, it's going to cost you. But I think those are the kinds of scenarios we just have to pay the piper. There has to be accountability. We can't just say, oh, well, that happened to you. Too bad, too sad. Yeah, it's getting a little ugly out there. But I think it's important for us to remember also, aside from the fact that standing with our undocumented fellow citizens, many of whom are actually going through the legal process or not cheating the system, is the right thing to do. And that's why we do it. Well, they did this. Well, they didn't do that. Well, they're this way. Well, they're that way. Okay. So an eye for an eye? No. We stand on our principles. We stand on what's right. We are godly and humanitarian. No. We are not. I don't think this is the time to go Trumpian. I just don't. I think it's the time to keep our moral core intact and stand up for what is right, what is correct, objectively. 800-920-1580. Okay, now the Justice Department is saying that the Trump administration can undo national monuments. I'll tell you what that means to California. It ain't cute. When we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Are you ready to play? Then jump into the LA 84 Foundation's free Playdate Block Party, a community celebration for all ages, including live music, dancing, LA's pro sports teams, great local food trucks, plus special giveaways for you to take home. Enjoy an exciting, fun-filled day for the entire family. Join on Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 2141 West Adams Boulevard. To register, go to la84.org. We'll see you Saturday, June 28th at LA 84 Foundation's free Playdate Block Party. Every mother deserves a healthy and joyous pregnancy and birth, and every baby deserves to thrive. That's why the Los Angeles County Abundant Birth Project is here. The Abundant Birth Project is a guaranteed income program that provides cash during pregnancy to pregnant individuals at the highest risk of preterm and low birth rate babies. Although program enrollment has closed, our commitment to Black joy and thriving continues. Through tailored services that foster mental well-being and community-based resources, we provide care and support during pregnancy and after the baby is born to help build brighter futures for our families. Join us in celebrating abundant births in LA County. For more information, please visit abundantbirthproject.org. abundantbirthproject.org.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back. So now Brother Suing In-N-Out Burger in Compton. He worked there for 4 years. Apparently, he says they discriminated against him because they have a policy there, Miles, that you got to have your hair tucked into your hat. How would that work out for you? Not well.
Okay. Okay. It's a hell violation, though.
Huh?
Hell violation.
Yeah. Right. Well, he's saying it's discrimination. He worked there for 4 years. He actually braided his hair so it would fit under the hat. Because the longer it got, the fro is not going in the hat.
Right.
And they didn't like the sideburns.
Okay.
They said, okay, you got your hair braided, but we don't like the sideburns.
We suing him.
Yeah, he's suing him. I think that's a Crown Act violation.
Get the money. I ain't mad at it.
I don't know if he's going to get $3 million. He said they started treating him differently. They humiliated him in front of his co-workers.
I can't do that.
One supervisor sent him home to shave off his sideburns and then come back.
No, that's out.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he was fired. So we'll see how that goes. But to me, it definitely sounds like a Crown Act violation. I always think of the Crown Act being for women, right? Black women, mostly. Anybody with, anybody with nappy hair, I guess. Anybody who wears those crown protect any hairstyle, really. But I think we're about to see whether the Crown Act applies to men. And, particularly, there's a lot of those places where they have some kind of little hat that you got to wear.
Right, and but it's a food establishment, of course. So I'm not surprised they're making them wrap it up. But you're saying sending them home to go shave and humiliating them,
It's a food establishment, but they could just have a hairnet over the fro. They could make a hat exception.
Okay. Are you in uniform if you don't have the hat on?
Well, maybe not. So you're saying he should have to have the hat?
So I get them saying you need to have the hat on. I don't get them trying to humiliate him or say you got to go home and shave.
Yes, the sideburns. Well, we'll see how that goes. Also, for anybody in our KBLA delegation, I know there's one or two of you who uses cannabis, whether it's edibles or smokables, whatever it is you do, oils, whatever that thing is. Apparently, and I keep saying this because, well, you know, I'm concerned about you, of course, that the pesticide levels in legal weed are insanely high. And I've read about 3 or 4 different articles about this, that it is a huge problem, especially for smoking, because you're actually inhaling that into your lungs, but it's really not good for you regardless. We're not supposed to be eating, drinking, smoking, ingesting certain pesticides. And now there is a group that's coming out of Santa Cruz. It's the Santa Cruz Board of Supervisors, actually, that are pushing the governor and the legislature to take the regulation of weed, cannabis. I know cannabis people don't like you to call it weed. That's my old school showing. That they want that regulation to be taken out of the Department of Cannabis Control and moved over to the Department of Pesticide Regulation, which makes sense to me because they specialize in pesticides. And what they're saying is that for the past year, testing of cannabis shows that pesticides are rampant, and many of them are illegal chemicals that are there. And they're claiming that the people from the Department of Cannabis Control, which is a crazy name for a State Department anyway, but they're saying they haven't updated the standards, even though we see that this product is full of illegal problem chemicals that cause cancer and all kinds of other problems. And they are saying that if the Cannabis Control Department can't handle it, they need to go to pesticide regulation. They already deal with pesticide on food crops. People are eating cannabis, so it makes sense. They want the those cannabis testing labs are accredited by the State Water Resources Control Board. They want the state to add 24 additional pesticides to the list of 66 that cannabis products have to be screened for before they can sell them. And this is on the legal market. Imagine the underground, because we do have a lot of illegal grows, many reportedly run by cartels and using slave labor hidden out in the woods, national parks, whatever, of Northern California. And to me, if ICE wants to go find some people, they should go find those people. But there was an investigation. This is one of the articles that I read by the LA Times, which found that the cannabis from California has really bad, high levels of chemicals, especially inside vaping. So if you're vaping cannabis, you might want to consider going back to the old-fashioned methods of eating it or smoking it, because these chemicals, not only do you not want them in your lungs, but they go out from the lungs into your bloodstream. They go into your organs, to your brain, your whole body. Smoking pesticides is like saying, may I please have cancer? And so I hope that these folks I hope they're successful in this quest, because I think most people aren't paying attention to that. And that's a real health hazard. I mean, especially as more and more older Americans are smoking more and more cannabis and ingesting it, also eating it. But apparently the older Americans, the 65 plus crowd, is doing the most with cannabis because it relieves symptoms that some have, anxiety, depression. Some folks having a lack of appetite or various aches and pains. And I saw another study where a bunch of, especially older Americans, but Americans in general, just assume that cannabis is healthier than tobacco, and so they'll smoke it a lot, like the way you would smoke cigarettes. Well, imagine what that does if there's chemicals on that product, particularly to older Americans who are more vulnerable to dis-ease and breakdown. I say grow your own, but good luck with that, because they have Monsanto'd those seeds. I don't know how you're going to be able to do it, but I say grow your own if you can, because that way you know what's on it. It's organic. And I'm semi-joking, but really not, because this is serious business. And if these folks are not going to keep that crop safe, then we need to think about it seriously. Yeah. So I worry about us. I worry about you. I'm trying to keep you safe. Trying to keep me safe. This is, these are the things that we're going to see when we have a massive new legal business. And I think we, the people, have to step in. The Department of Justice, of course, this, saying that California's public schools may be facing some legal consequences for having transgender kids participate in girls' sports. It's a handful. There's very, very few that do. But the entire state's schools could be penalized by the Trump administration. And I bring that up partly because we'll be talking with an expert on this topic in Hour 3. Partly because I just think it's ridiculous the way they're targeting transgender people. And the things that I see online, Dr. Umar posted something yesterday about Robert De Niro's transgender daughter. And I just found it so horrifying. Targeting a young person, disparaging them, disparaging an entire group of people, and then weaponizing them against the broader population when it's a teeny tiny slice of the population. Fine. Again, it's back to what I'm saying about migrants. You say what you want. We have to take the moral high ground, and taking the moral high ground means we don't condone bullying and endangering the lives of children, period. Full stop. Looking forward to my Talking Point Tuesday conversation with John Wood Jr. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. President Trump is back in the U.S. of Iran and providing more support. Yesterday, he called for everyone to evacuate the capital.